Okay. Hopefully I don't drop this phone. I'm recording today's Thanksgiving 2017. No mail. I thought I would record some video of the house here. Kind of give you an idea of what's going on. I'm not sure how well you can see. You can see the windows are all boarded up, doors boarded up. The swamp cooler on the ground, tore apart. Side of the house. See part of my shed there, all melted. A lot of the damage done from the fire. Here's a plaque my son Jeffrey made, which is pretty nice. Let's see here. He has some solar lights on top, so at night when it gets dark, it lights the sign up. He made this out of pieces of the house. The ceiling and the trim, the siding and that, cut them out, put that together. Hope everybody out there is having a good Thanksgiving. Here's the side of the house. The windows boarded up. Fence burned down. As you can see here, I had roll-out tarp and a big old pile of composition to redo the roof properly. And some old rims. I don't remember which they came off the Mustang or what, I don't know. You can see all the gunk, leftover stuff that's been burned. Pile of stuff here. There's an old Mustang rim. A few odds and ends left that's burned up. The door boarded up. You see my power box. It's burned up, pulled down. Rubbish, rubbish. This is my shop. What's left of it. Here's the back of my kitchen. You can see the sink and that. They got it taped off. There's the roof hanging down. It fell in the kitchen. My hot water. Oh, there's Nancy. I guess she's going through some of the stuff over there, trying to see if there's anything that could be salvaged. Opening to the front room, boarded up. That's my closet right there with the board covering the doorway to the closet. All that wall and everything came down. There's a room to my bathroom. And that wall, naturally it came down. I found a few things like some silverware and a couple of cups in the rubbish here. There's probably bound to be some more broken, and if lucky, maybe some cups that hadn't been broken underneath that rubble right here. There's some more tar paper that no good now because of the heat had probably fused it all together. There's some rubbish, some of the stuff that I went through looking for stuff, and I found a few things here and there. Got to be cleaned up to see if they can be salvaged. There's a dresser right there, the white dresser that we pushed over. Well, at least the fire department pushed over. A few odds and ends clothing that's no good now. In the kitchen, let's see if we can get a picture of the kitchen. Yeah. There is probably somewhere between 6 to 10 inches of roofing and ash on the floor. I've been going through looking for, DVDs and CDs that I had on the computer desk right there. That when they sprayed the water, it blew them all over the floor, and then the roof came down on top of them. I pulled a bunch of them out already, but there's bound to be more stuff there. The thing right there in front of us that's leaning over was our dishwasher. It's just a hollow metal shell now. So, I still gotta dig through this and see if there's anything else. Cups, CDs, whatever, that may be underneath that could be cleaned up and salvaged. There's a cupcake pan over there. There's my light that was in the ceiling hanging from the top of the roof that fell in. A refrigerator back there, which, it's seen better days. Next to that is our stove, which is like a 50 style stove and oven. I'm going to see if by chance, once we're able to get this stuff out of here, if I can clean it up and it will still work. Because I love that old 50s style stove and oven. Water heater definitely no good anymore. I was wondering if anybody out there who watched this video wants to watch me dig through the garbage and see if I could find anything that I could salvage, and then get a picture after I clean it up to see what it looked like. Most likely that what I find is going to be black from ash and smoke. Once I clean it up to see if I can recover it, I'll be more than willing to notify you when there's a new video or new pictures of things that I find, or when I'm digging through looking for stuff, I'll try to do a live video. Well, not live, but do a video that I'll give you a link to so you can watch the procedures of me digging through and sorting and finding any little trinket I could find to salvage. But it would be helpful to be able to get these links if you donate to my GoFundMe, whatever you can afford, and you will be the only ones who will get the links to the, I guess, scavenging, trying to find any remnants of my old life and clean them up. Now we've gone through the kitchen once or twice, but like I say, there's stuff buried. And then in the front room, we went through and pulled some stuff out, but there's still a bunch of stuff in there that needs to be pulled out. Not only under the ash, but on a bookshelf. There's some books and some DVDs and whatever that I can record what they are and see if they're salvageable or not. So that's the game plan right now, is to see if it's blinking. I guess it's still recording. See if I can get anybody who will donate to my cause, and I will record going through the place and finding what I could find. And then, like I say, once I clean it up, then I'll send pictures of what the item looks like cleaned up. And then you have a comparison of what it looks like when I found it and what it looks like after I clean it up. Okay, let's see here. Go back over this way. Let you see inside my shop. This is where I used to do VCR, video camera, TV repair when I had my business. It's definitely a shambles now. There's not much of anything in here. But who knows? I will dig through the ash. I may find something that's usable. Sometimes what I've been finding is something fell down on top of, getting a wire wrapped around my ankles. Something fell down on top. Come on, darn it. I don't want to fall down in this ash. On top of something, and then the ash fell on top of that. So whatever it was that fell on top of the item protected the item. So I have found some things that was actually perfectly clean. But I wiped it down for any remnants of smoke. But the item was perfectly fine, and put it away. Put it in a bag or something, marked it, cleaned and okay. It's funny how when you have a disaster like this, which apparently I'm not going to get any help from Salvation Army. They've already notified me that there's nothing they could do for us Heck, they won't even give me a credit to where I can go down and buy some clothes or something. And Red Cross, they gave me, I think, $420, which I had to split, with Nancy so she can get some clothes, and myself. And then I called them because the Salvation Army told me to call to see if there's any other help Red Cross can do. So I called them and I said, "Did you have any long-term help?" And he says, "No." He says, "We could have helped you a little bit more if you would have called us within 45 days. And I said, "Well, nobody told us that." I said, "When they were out here and gave us some paperwork and gave us a Red Cross bag that had a blanket and some first aid things in it. No one said anything about getting additional help, but I had to call before 45 days. But he goes, "Well, I'm sorry, there's nothing else we could do for you." And the guy was rather rude too. But anyway, I told him thank you, and we hung up. So there's very little help out there for individuals like myself who lost their house because somebody torched. There's, you see the house next door. That house had been abandoned since 2013, and we have been trying, as well as several people in town, trying to do something with that house, have them tear it down or whatever, because we had tweakers living in it off and on. And I was always afraid that someday they're going to torch it again, because in 2013 it got torched by tweakers. Well, eventually, they did torch it, but this time it caught my house on fire and, burned my place down. And it's kind of strange because an individual gets very, very little help. And I'm looking for, organizations. I can't even seem to find a lawyer. They have, I forgot what they call it, but, you don't win, you don't pay. I'm trying to find a lawyer to sue a couple of people for this damage, and I'm having trouble finding anybody who's willing to do the no win, no pay situation. So kind of in a stalemate. But anyway, it's a kind of a sad situation where I don't mean to sound ungrateful, but the people whose homes got burned down from the forest fire in California, and even in Kentucky, they had FEMA and all these other different organizations putting out thousands of dollars to these people so they can get clothing and a place, a motel and food, and they get all this nice help. But an individual like myself, their house burns down with everything they own, and all they get is, well, for Nancy and I, $420, a bag with a blanket, some first aid stuff like bandages and things like that, and that's it. You don't get any other kind of help. And it just seems not quite fair. I mean, even the people whose houses burned down in the forest fire, they get help to rebuild their place. And people like myself don't get nothing. So I'm stuck doing this, trying to show a video of, here's my main shed where I had the washer and dryer, show the damage that was done, all because of some stupid tweaker wanting to torch a house. Why, I don't know. I have no idea. And destroy my life, destroy Nancy's life. And Nancy's the young lady that I took in because her husband passed away and she was losing her home and was losing her car. And I had the empty house because a year before that my wife passed away. And so I had this big empty house, just me in it. And I said, well, I'd go ahead and let her move in, help keep the house clean, gives me someone to talk to. And it was working out nicely, until the fire. So now, because here's the shed right here that I had built to store her stuff and mine, because she had, a bunch of stuff that she had left over when she moved. And over there, behind my shop, right there, right there was another shed that I had built to store her stuff and mine. And as you can see, so during the fire, not only did I lose a lifetime of memories and pictures and all kinds of stuff put away for storage. Nancy also lost her lifetime of stuff that she had in the pictures and the different things. I don't know exactly what all she put away. All I know is I helped her carry box by box and stacked them in here. So we got two people who've lost everything, and we're basically, I'm trying to raise enough money to get myself a modular home or something to put on the property here. Try to start my life over, and naturally I can't kick Nancy out into the street. She's a nice lady. Actually, she's an ex Sunday school teacher with a church. They go to show how nice she, how personality-wise she's a really sweet lady. So, she'll be moving in with the modular home if we're able to find one and put it on here, so she can start her life over. Right now, we're really struggling to cope with our loss, as well as going on with our life. I don't know what's going to happen. All the damage. Let's see, we'll go around to go through all this rubble. The tweakers and people have come over here and have been rummaging through our stuff. That's why it's all spread all over. They've been throwing things all around looking for stuff that they could sell. I've caught a couple and told them to please leave. They're not wanted on my property. Try to explain the situation to them, but most of the time they don't care. There's an old monitor. Let's see. I guess you could see, yeah. That's all melted and burned up. I'm not sure if... Let's see. Here to give you an idea. It looks like there is a power supply right there. An old film reel. Yeah, I'm not even going to pull it out. The power cord would be melted. The power supply, which is where Phillips, is going to be burned up. So it's not salvageable. But that's what I would do. I'd pull them out, take a look at it, look like it's salvageable or not, and put it in a bag and go through it, later as I get time to do it. But this is what the back of my shop looks like. I had a freezer in there, which I don't know if the tweakers pulled it out or the fire department pulled it out and threw it down, and it's demolished. Yeah, what we got here? See if I can get over there without tripping and breaking my neck. Let's see here. What we got here? That and a bag of, I'm not sure what that is. You got the cables. I really need to be setting the phone down so I can pull these things apart. Not sure. Okay, that cable there is no good. That small cable. Then I got this long piece. It's probably no good. I'll have to go through it later and see. You can see how my hands, just from picking that up, they got soot all over it. Anyway, I can videotape going through the ashes seeing if there's anything I could find to salvage. And I could put, like say, when I upload it, I could put a link to it, so whoever it is that contributes to my GoFundMe, or I think it's called YouCare, and donates some money to help us out, I'll give you the links plus the pictures of what the items look like after cleaning them up, and we'll go from there and see if there's anybody out there who's willing to contribute to get this information. Anyway, what a mess, what a mess. My old satellite receiver, well, not the receiver, but the dish, the amp, all destroyed. Major loss all around. Anyway, everybody out there who happens to see this, if you see it during Thanksgiving or after Thanksgiving, I hope you're going to have a good Thanksgiving, or had a good Thanksgiving, and we'll have, I don't know, some soup or something, I don't know. Anyway, if you can contribute, I think Nancy and I would definitely appreciate it, and I'll fulfill my obligations to videotape and take pictures and send you the links, so you and only you can see the results of searching and finding. Alrighty? Thank you very much.